So like I put on the message, everyone of us is highly welcome to this particular live program today. And like I said, if you're here live with us, all you need to do is you listen to what we're saying. And if you have any questions that you want to ask, drop it in the comment section. I have a lot of space here to write down your questions, and I will surely answer all the questions. So hopefully I can be able to stay 2 hours for this live today so that I can accommodate every questions that every one of us may have to ask. So meanwhile, from the questions I got from the community report, my pages, I would start with like first of all, I welcome every one of us who is here now. And for those that will join later, they will have to watch the video later to understand how we started. So now, the first thing I would like to do is for us to explain the first question I have here, which asks me to explain um, using concrete ponds to start catfish farming. What are the pros and what are the cons? Actually, I have this on my YouTube, but let me not just throw away the question that the person asked me. Now, what is concrete pond farming in catfish? It simply means building a pond with concrete and plastering inside with cement. That's your concrete pond farming. There's nothing else there. And just like every other form of catfish farming, you have your inlet and you have your outlet, and that's it. So it's also a very good method of farming because the pond actually retains water, and with that, you can be able to achieve everything you want to achieve in farming. It gives you good results. Yeah, but sometimes some people tend to like get confused every time, thinking that probably um all these ponds that there is something special that makes fishes grow better in some of these ponds, but in the reality, there is nothing like that. So that's it about that particular issue. So now, what I'm going to do now is I would like to explain this, and so that I can use it to run through the process of catfish farming from the beginning to the ending. One question nearly every new catfish farmer always like to ask is what I'm going to start with. And that question is, which of the types of catfish is best for farming and gives you the highest profit? So this is the question that every new catfish farmer always ask. And so it's a question that's going to run throughout the whole process of what we're saying about catfish. So let me start with it. The question, like I said, is which type of catfish gives you the best profit, the highest result, and grows the fastest? So this is the question. Now, the actual question that someone asked me was, he asked me to explain between Clarias, heterobunchus, long fin, and hybrid. So this is the question. So I will use it to like run through the whole process and explain it very well. Please, like I said, if you have any question of your own that you just had now, you can drop it in the comments. I will write it down. When I finish the explanation, I will pick it and I will reply you anything that you want to know. So now, in catfish farming, I have explained it severally. In Nigeria, we have two major types of catfish. We have the Clarias catfish and we have the hybrid catfish. But then, for people that hatch fish, we actually have what you call the heterobunchus long fin. Now, the heterobunchus long fin is not always available for you who is the buyer of catfish. Reason is that they are more expensive. Now, what is the heterobunchus long fin? If you take up your hybrid, when you look at the hybrid has something that looks like an aeroplane tail at the back end. That is called the adophos fin. It looks small, curvy at the tail end. Curvy at the tail end. That's the adophos fin. Now, in the heterobunchus long fin, the adophos fin is quite long. So it's longer than what we have on the hybrid. Now, the heterobunchus long fin to people who hatch fishes, they always use either the heterobuncus long fin or they use the Clarias catfish. These are the two they use. But you, as the buyer, you are used to the Clarias hybrid, the Clarias catfish, and the hybrid. And let me explain why. The reason why is that for you to get the hybrid, you have to use the Clarias and the heterobuncus long fin. So when you cross the two, what you will get as a result is the hybrid. So now, because you get the hybrid, so the hybrid carries the features of both the Clarias and the heterobuncus long fin. So that's why when you cross it, you get the hybrid. Now, the difference between the Clarias and the heterobuncus long fin is that the heterobuncus long fin is longer in size. That is, when they grow over a time, they become very much longer than the Clarias. But the Clarias is thicker and bigger. But when the heterobuncus long fin is growing, it now grows quite long and also very big. When you now cross the two, it now gives you all the combination of this feature in your hybrid catfish. But this doesn't mean that the hybrid is better than the Clarias, and I will keep explaining. So now, when people ask me which is more profitable, is it the hybrid or is it the Clarias? What determines profitability here is your location. Like I always say, each place you stay determines the kind of catfish you start with. There are some places that have a choice. So if they have a choice, go with their choice. But if they don't have a choice and you are just starting your catfish, my advice is, if your place doesn't have a choice and you are just starting, start with your Clarias. And you may say, why? Because people always project this idea that, oh, if it's a hybrid, you keep them the same month, give them the same food, the same age, the hybrid will get bigger. That's not correct. Yes, the hybrid will get big, but if you do the same thing, they will still grow at the same pace. The only difference now is that the longer the hybrid stays, it keeps growing very much longer because that is a species. It grows longer and it has no eggs. But the Clarias, after 7 months, going to 8, 9 months, it will have eggs. And your customers don't want to buy fishes with eggs. If you get to my pages, you will now see a lot of videos that I have there. Most of them are Clarias, and they are huge. There's even one video I just posted 2 days ago. If you look at that video, what we have there is Clarias 6 months and 2 weeks, and some of them are 2 point something kg. Very huge Clarias catfish. That's to tell you that it's your management that actually determines what you get as a result and not the species. But if you want to go for that quite big without this thing, without eggs, and you're planning to be able to keep your fishes for months, that means you should be thinking of hybrid. So this is just the basic difference between your hybrid and your Clarias catfish. And this is how you'll be able to choose of which of these will give you better results. If you have any question or what I'm explaining now, please kindly ask me that question and I'll be able to answer you now. Now, if you have ponds that you want to use and you don't know the measurement of what you will take, please ask me now and I will be able to help you. Now, in the past 2, 3 weeks, I'm going to bring out a video on this, but I will quickly do that now since we are on live. So, in the past few weeks now, there is something that is going on in catfish world that I have people have actually gotten to me, not from the same location. I've gotten the reports from Lagos and I've gotten the reports from the north. So the issue is that all of a sudden people get to their farm and they lose all their fishes. It's this thing I'm telling you. I have gotten more than 6 people that have told me the same thing. They wake up in the morning, they get to their pond, and no single fish is alive, all dead. I'm going to do a video you will see by next week on this issue. Now, what is the cause? Some people, when they get frantically worried that what happened, maybe they have made mistake in the feed. But let me tell you the truth, if your feed is poisoned, if your feed, let's say poison, let's say if your feed is bad or your water is contaminated, your catfishes, all of them cannot die overnight, one night. No, there could be one or two that will survive. But anytime you get to your pond and something happens and you see all your fishes dead, It's either the poison, once you have enough water in that pond, but all of them died, know immediately that your catfishes have been poisoned. Poison is the only thing that can wipe all dead. Because if they die and you get to the pond and they don't have water inside the pond, that is drought. That's why they died. So it's drought, stressed out, and inside all of them that died, you can still see one or two that is still like moving around, like trying to survive. But once it's poisoned, everything will die. Now, you may be wondering, why are people poisoning their fishes? The truth is that from the report that I used to get, when I start asking them questions that how it happened, I discovered that most times it is either their tenants living in a compound, and they are having issue with people in the compound, and maybe somebody just told them, I don't like this thing you are doing in this compound, I don't like this thing. And you wake up in the morning and all your catfishes are dead. It's poison. Now, in some cases, is that somebody told them that, please try and remove your catfish from this pond. It's disturbing us. And you come out the next morning, it's dead. And sometimes the people will tell you something, you may not take it to heart. When they talk about your catfish, that this thing is disturbing us, you do not take it to heart. You come out the next day, maybe 1 or 2 days later, they are all dead. And you are thinking within yourself that maybe you made a mistake. It's not. Somebody there poisoned it. If you have money and this thing happen and you can see any place you can go and test, you can go and test it, you will see. If you test that water, you will see that the water is bad. It's poison. And that's why I always say it, no matter how you are friends with people, I don't encourage you to take people to your pond always. I don't encourage that. Some people can kill your catfishes unintentionally. Yes, some people may look at the fishes in your pond unintentionally. They want to feed it the way you feed it, and they put something terrible there. In the evening time when you are not there, you come out the next morning, they're all dead. Kids may be playing and pick up a can of water, and they don't know that what's inside the water is gamalin 20, and they put inside that pond. Everything will die. And for the fact that fishes don't cry, they don't make noise. So you will not know when they are having issues, complications that kill them. So they will just come the next morning and everything is dead. So why I'm saying this is that this is something that have been happening for the past 3, 4 weeks. It is a trend that I've been getting people who just send me message that, please, what happened? That I just woke up in the morning and I just saw that my catfishes are dead. And they are wondering what is killing their catfishes. And I'm telling you here, once you wake up in the morning and all your catfishes are dead, it's not water that is bad, it is poison. That's just the truth. Whenever you start having issues with people you are living with in the compound, my advice is try and relocate your fishes. If not, a lot of things will happen and you can't explain it. And unfortunately, when these issues happen, you lose money. So please, whenever you see such situations, just understand that the people you are living with have actually poisoned your fishes. That's the truth. Now, let's go forward. So, someone asked me this question. He said, how do I encourage people to use BSF lava? I don't know, maybe you have heard it. BSF lava. That is simple black soldier fly lava. The production of black soldier fly used in supplementing fish production. Now, I don't actually like to demarket what people are doing, but I'm going to tell you this. Go and do your research. There's no way you can use black fly to feed your catfishes and replace your catfish feed and want to make result from that production. Black fly is highly proteinous, meaning that it contains a good number amount of protein. But that doesn't mean that it can replace your catfish feed. It can't, because your catfish feed is proteinous, has components of starch, has components of vitamin, components of carbohydrate, all the mineral resources are being put together as your feed. But the black fly has very high component of protein. Now, when you put this on a scale, you see that one gives you the complete feed ingredients that you need for your catfish to grow well. But the other one has more of protein, meaning that with more of protein, you can achieve all the results that you want to achieve in your catfish farming. So I know, like I have done videos of how you can be able to reduce your cost of production. And it's a simple way. The best thing you have to do if you're having issues is this. Before you stock, luckily on my channel, I have done videos of how many bags of feed you want to use. You know, some people can be contesting these bags, but it still doesn't make anything. There's no point people deceiving you that you are stocking 1,000 fishes, you want to use 60 bags to feed them. Look, if you stock 10,000 fishes and you want to use one bag to feed them, it's all right. But the question is that you are not going to come out with results. So most of these things, luckily, I have some of them and I will continue to do more numbers to put on the channel so that anytime you can go there for reference. So if you want to start a catfish farm, the first thing you have to do is look at the size of space where you want to put your pond. Measure that space that you want to put your pond. You have the length, you have the width, you have the depth of the pond. The length is how long the pond will be. The width is the wideness of the pond. And the depth is how deep the water of that pond will take. When you measure this thing, just send it to me. I will look at it and I will tell you exactly what amount of catfish that thing will take. The next thing you will do is when I tell you the number it will take is you can go to my page, you can ask me like how many bags that will take, and I will still tell you how many bags you will use for for 1 kg and above or below 1 kg. Now, where some people get this thing wrong is that when I tell you number of bags of feed, I always emphasize something. I say, please do not buy all these fish, all these bags same time. I said 12 by 12. 12 by 12 times 4, I will answer it later. I've seen 10 by 15 by 4, I will answer it later. So the mistake people do is that when I tell you your fishes will eat X bag of feeds to 1 kg, I always say one thing. I said, don't buy this feed once. Probability that when you buy the feed is about to expire when you buy it is there. Probability that you may not be able to finish all these feed bags is there. Now, what you simply do is when I tell you that, I always say it, go to sellers of this feed, big sellers. In every locality, you have two types of sellers. You have the main big sellers and you have people that go there to buy a few bags. Go to the main big sellers. If you're dealing with 500 and above, that's so much money. If you want to raise, let me just give you flat example now so that people understand. If you want to raise 500, as small as it sounds in the ear, 500 catfishes, and you are not ready to spend 600 plus on feeding, what's the point in doing the business? It's not going to pay you. It's a terrible truth, but unfortunately, that's the reality on ground. Now, that money is not a small money. It's not a small money. And for the fact that it's not a small money, the best thing we do is the one you have, you go to a feed seller, a big feed seller, deposit the money in the person's hand, and you guys will check how many bags you can carry. Then start going there to pick up. You can agree with him that every Friday you come and pick up the number of bags of feed you need. You'll be picking it up. When the money you have with him expires, you go back, pay more money, and then you'll be able to, pay for more bags. Now, when I tell you that you will get to 1 kg and above, my calculation is always that below 20% of your total stock will land at 1 kg, meaning that anything above 20% is 1 kg plus. You are going to make so much gain. So, but if it's just flat rate of 1 kg and maybe I say go and buy 100 bags. And you say, no, that what you can afford is 80 bags. I will not tell you no. Simple. You go and deposit that money you have with a seller and be carrying the feed. Now, if the feed gets to what you want to sell, you go there and you start selling your fish. And let me tell you one thing, catfish farming is a very good business that it doesn't have expiring date of sales. Simple that if you want to sell, let's say you want to sell your fishes at 1 kg and above, and you start doing well, and when your fishes get to 1 kg, for some reasons you don't have money, you can decide to call buyers to sell part of the feed, fish to make money and keep feeding. Yes, it may disturb some others not to pick up very fast, but the issue is that you'll be able to raise money from it. How many businesses can you do that when you now get stock, you can be able to, sell part of it and raise money? How many? So that is that. So now let me answer these people that are asking for pond sizes. Someone asked me, said 10 by 15 tarpaulin pond by 4 feet high. What is going to take 10 by 15 by 4 feet high? Okay. For your best result, stock 170 fishes in it. But remember, whatever I tell you here, depending on how you want to do it, oh, I may tell you and you don't like what I say, you can do whatever you want. But if you have problem at the end of it, oh well, it's all your fault. So the next person is asking me 12 by 12 by 4 feet. Okay. This one again will take 170 catfishes to 1 kg. Both of you, what I have given you is to 1 kg. Then Isaiah asked me so much for this session. So I want to ask what causes mortality after change of water using tarpaulin pond. Yeah, Isaiah, this particular question you asked me is even on my YouTube page, but quickly let me answer that. After you change your water in a tarpaulin pond and your catfishes are dying, one of the major things that is causing it is that you overstocked your pond. So when you change water and you have removed all the water in the pond, all your fishes will press together. And for the fact that they press together, there is weight, high weight on the ones under because you overstock. So the ones under are sitting on top of the ones below. The high, that weight on them will now kill them. So by the time you now add water, every one of them is free. But those ones have already been highly pressed and they are dying. That's just the simple thing. Now, I actually said that one of the ways to stop it is number one, you plan on getting another pond to reduce whatever you stocked. It's a fact that you overstocked, even though most of you won't believe that you overstocked. But when things happen, you just ask yourself, is it true? Am I really getting any result from what I am holding on? And if the answer is no, just adjust yourself. So plan on getting another pond. Apart from planning on getting another pond, then stop discharging all the water completely in the pond anytime you are changing it. So what you do is you remove when your water is going down, 70% of the water is out of the pond. Open your inlet, allow the water to keep flowing out, but now allow the inlet to start adding more water. So when this is happening, what we call it is flow through. Allow that to work for like 10 to 15 minutes. By then, the dirty water must have gone out almost completely. You now lock your discharge and then allow the new water to flow in. So with this, you now that issue of fishes being on top of one another to press them because of overstocking will be reduced. But this can only last for some time because as your fishes are getting bigger, they are taking more space, and before you know, they may still keep dying. So the best thing is plan for a second pond, get a second pond, and get free from that situation. Now, and okay, Atibala said, can I put 500 juvenile in a pond of 10 by 12 and do sorting in 2 months' time? I will not deceive myself because most of you try to ask this question and then blame me at the end of the day. If you get a pond of 10 by 10 by 20, The highest this pond will take if it's by 4 feet. If it's by 4 feet, the highest this pond will take at um, um, 3 feet water high is 220 fishes. That's the highest it will take. Now, if you have this kind of pond and you said you want to sort in 2 months' time, you see, the issue is that your fishes may not die, but then they will have poor results because the when you stock your fishes too much in a particular place, even if they don't die, because that's where so many people get it wrong. You see, you stock your fishes, they are choked in a place, and sometimes because your pond is new or something and your fishes don't die, you are happy that your fishes don't die. But one thing you don't understand is that they can't grow what they are supposed to grow because you actually stampeded them. So some people will do it avoiding every situation. You see them, everything looks like it's going on fine, but go and check the result. They will not grow well. So if I were you, the max I can do is 3 weeks. 3 weeks, because something that's supposed to be 220, you have 500. It means that the congestion is much. So 3 weeks is my max. I'm not telling you to do 3 weeks. So I'm telling you that if it was me, this is what I will do. But whatever you wish to do is really subject to your personal decision. Why I'm saying this is that so that tomorrow you don't quote me wrong. You don't quote me wrong. So if it was me, the best I can do is a pond that's supposed to take 220, but for some reasons, you want to get another pond, maximum of 2 weeks, you are done. 57 inches length. Danikachi, please, I would advise that you get a proper measurement. 57-inch length is it's not really possible. A ruler, our yellow ruler is 24-inch length, if I'm right. So if you know that yellow ruler that is like this at 24 inch, so you're saying 57, meaning you're talking of something like this. You want to use it to start catfish. Such type of thing, that's not really correct. And you are saying is GP tank. So in your GP tank, you can have a length and a breadth, you know. But if for some reasons you are not getting it right, probably something is not adding up for you, or you are not getting the measurement right, you can, if it's GP tank, I know it's going to be round, but if it's not round though, measure it very well and send to me. You can also reach me on 081 353 48909 WhatsApp. 081 353 48909 WhatsApp. Say, please, can 2K fishes fit in one pond? Concrete pond to be precise. 15 by 20 by 5 feet cannot take 2,000 fishes. When you go to my YouTube page, Let Us Farm, you will see how many ponds you need for your 2,000 fishes, which is roughly about 4 ponds or so. That's what you will use for your 2,000 pounds. This 15 by 20 by 5 feet will not take, it won't take, it won't take that. You say 15 by 20 by 5 feet will only take 320 fishes, so it cannot go. That's just the truth about that matter. So, let's go forward. So now, what causes white spot on fingerlings and the cure, please? Most times when you see white spot, you see it on their forehead, on the head. You see that's where you see the white spot. And when that thing happens, it's just instantly telling you that you overstocked your pond. That's what causes it. There is nothing else that causes it. And of which you know the solution for overstocking is to get another pond and reduce what you have. But if it is not that white spot on the head, if it's like white patches on the body, that is not like injury, just like dot like this on the body, on the skin, not on the head. That's simply that the fish is changing color, which is nothing. That's just taking the color that it's the original breed color. That's what it's just taking. It's not an issue. But if it says white spot on the head, you just overstock your pond, try and do that. Then how do we reduce feeding cost? The simplest way to reduce feeding cost is what I have told you. Reduce your stocking density. It's simple. If before you were stocking 1,000, if you are stocking 1,000, look, I want to be able to explain this to us every time I can. There is no gain in stocking so much fishes when you cannot feed them. Look, if you don't feed your fishes very well, you're not going to make profit. So what is the point you carrying fishes and you're not making profit? You tell people, well, I'm a fisherman, I'm a fisherman. Everybody in the area knows you are a fish farmer. And something happens, somebody comes in your house and say, come, security levy 1,000 or 2,000, you don't have it. I mean, what's the point? And everybody know you as a security farm, as a fish farmer. It doesn't make sense. As a fish farmer, you should be able to be growing. Oh, I started with 100 fishes. Next time, I'm going to 150 or 200 fishes. That's growth. But that you are doing 1,000 fishes before, carrying family responsibilities and other things, and then because of inflation rate and things that are happening in the country, and you still want to do 1,000 fishes, but then again, you can't be able to feed 1,000 fishes because a bag of feed you were buying 12,500 before is now 20,000 or 22,000. What I expect you to do is calculation. Sit down. If before you were using 1.3 million to do 1,000 fishes to 1 kg, and now it's obvious that it will now go to around 1.7 million. What you do is if what you have in your hand is 1.3 million, divide it with the number of bags of feed that you normally buy. So you will see that instead of 1,000, it will come down to around 700 or 800. And do it. When you do it, you will make more profit and you now shift. The next time you add like extra 100 to the number of fishes you are stocking. Simple. But you are doing 1,000 fishes before with all the expenses you are carrying. And now prices of feed have almost doubled. You can't do it, but you insist you will do it. And then you do it and you bring out your fishes and you don't make results. And you now start complaining that this country is bad, this government is bad. We know that the country is bad, the government is bad, but that's not supposed to affect you. What's supposed to affect you is that you change your orientation of doing your business to be able to fit into the need. One thing I have learned in my life is don't complain always. You don't complain. Whenever something happens, always switch your strategy. What is I say? Oh, that means I will need 2 to 4 acres to do fish. Of course, if you are doing 15,000 fishes, that's what you need. So, what I learned to do is that when things are not going the way you want to do it, what you simply do is you switch your strategy to be able to adapt to the new situation. But if you just say, oh, because these things are not doing, you start complaining, it's not going to take you anywhere. That's the truth. So, please, what you simply do, cost of feeding is high. So the amount of money you have before you start stocking, calculate, reduce your stocking density. It's not going to change your name. Reduce it, do the thing, and make good result. When you sell, you make more money and then push the next one that you're going to do. That's how businessmen calculate it. So this one is saying, Joseph is asking me 12 by 6. Now, and I'm going to, he did not put the depth of this pond, but I'm going to work on 12 by 6 by 4 feet. So 12 by 6 by 4 feet, that's what I'm going to work with. So on that basis, you are going to stock 90 fishes, 12 by 6 by 4 feet, meaning that you're going to have 3 feet water high. So stock um 90 fishes in it for your best result. Yeah, you can go to my YouTube channel. When you get to my YouTube channel, I have all the videos there. But any topic that you can't get there, just drop a question there and you see the video. So that's it. Then what else? Hashers are killing us. So how can a hasher use 2 kg fish to hash? Does it have impact on the group and success of the business? My brother, I will always say this: hashers are not really our problem. Our problem are ourselves. You know, if you watch, many big farms don't hash. Many big farms go and start checking, don't hash. It's only few of them that do that. The reason is that when you hash, you know that it's not a very simple thing. There is a lot of things that goes inside hashing that if one mess up, you lose everything. So, like me now, I don't hash. I've tried it once, but I wasn't interested in it because hashing needs more attention than grow out. Most people that do big fishes, most people that you see that they say, "Oh, we are raising 5,000 fishes," we are raising, they don't hash because hashing needs more attention. So, if you don't have any other thing you are doing, then you can be hashing. Now, if someone wants to hash fish, like I said it last time, one of the rules of hashing is never get a broodstock, the male and female from the same farm to hash. It's going to give you what we call inbreeding. When you have inbreeding is going to give you a bad result in the offspring. I said it in the last video that I did. Because once you get the female and the male fish from the same farm, let's say I hash and I want to buy my broodstock and I go to Nigeria, Catfish Nigeria Limited Farm, and I buy my broodstock of male and female and use the two to hash. That is inbreeding. But let's say that I get to I want to buy and I get to Catfish Nigeria Limited, I buy the male, and I go to Catfish and Sons Nigeria Limited, I buy the female. I cross the two, it's not going to give me inbreeding. Now again, I can go to Catfish Nigeria Limited and buy the male. If Catfish Nigeria Limited is being truthful, they tell me, oh, that they have another pond, but that pond, what they have there is not the same source with the one I bought. It's not the same source with the one I bought, and I buy the female there. You see, these two will not give me inbreeding because even though they are from the same farm, they are not from the same source. So it's not going to give me inbreeding. So this is the major problem that will affect your result. Now, if a farmer that is hashing is using a 2 kg male to hash, it will not give you any bad result, provided they don't have inbreeding. It's the truth. If you use 2 kg fish, it won't give you a bad result. What will give you bad result here is if the 2 kg is 6 months old, it will give you a bad result. But if the 2 kg is like 1.5 year or 1 year, it won't give you a bad result. So it's not really that the male is 2 kg, no. But then some people use male that are less than 1 kg. That will give you a bad result because that male did not grow well. And what you are looking for in the result is that what the male has as a male, it will give you to the offspring. And what the offspring has is what you are buying to grow out. I would like to make this thing a little bit complicated for people to understand. So that's why I'm trying to break it down. So if the male is like less than 1 kg, run away. But the problem is that you will not know. That's why I always say it's trust. It's trust. That's why people that I refer to my supplier, I close eyes and say, go there because I always know, I know what the guy has been doing for more than 10 years. So I know instead of him to do that, he will not hash. I think I showed a video one certain time that when he hashed, so when he was about to sell, most of the fishes that came out of that set were around. He fed it back to the broodstock. This is what someone who is hashing and takes hashing as a job would do. But a farmer who is hatching may not do this thing. I'm not condemning all farmers, but I'm just giving you like example of what happens. If someone who is just a farmer, I farm my own and I hash, and I have this kind of thing, you know, right, success. Thank you. Thank you very much, success. So I may not necessarily do that because what I will do is I will say, no, I can't lose all my fishes. So I can just sort out the big ones on that set and sell. But that is where the problem is because it is you who is going to buy it that will have the problem. So I hope I'm able to clear this talk. If not, you can reframe the question and I will see what I can answer you. So say thank you very much. I want to start the catfish business. Oh, thank you very much, Ozu family. I appreciate. Thank you for teaching. Since I reduced my fishes to 51 tag, I haven't had any mortality. Well, I'm happy that since you reduced your fishes to 50, in one tank, in the white tank, you don't have mortality. The truth is that I know it's not easy, when you tell someone to reduce the number of stock it has in a pond. It's not easy. I won't deceive you, it's not easy. But then again, you are looking for results. So sometimes, because you want to get results, you have to just close your ears and do exactly what someone says. Then if you don't have the result, you know that why are these people deceiving me? You get it? But in a situation that you don't want to do what someone says, and then you still want the results. If you come to my WhatsApp, many people that message me on WhatsApp, not WhatsApp group, so that people don't misunderstand. I don't have any group. So people that message me on WhatsApp, when you see some of my chats, there are some people that you know this thing we are doing today is I believe I'm trying to like help many people, and which I see their results. Like on Monday, I'll post some results that I got feedbacks from. But I have a problem that you're trying to like put people in the right way, explaining to them that this is what it's supposed to be, and they're arguing. So I decided that I can't argue with you. It's your fish, it's your business. My own is I will do the best to like trying to encourage you and help you. But when you don't start argument, I will tell you, imagine when you tell somebody that this is the reason why he's having problem. He's telling you no, that he's very sure that that's not the reason. Then why are you talking to me? Don't be offended though. Sorry. I am very busy. So if I can be able to create time to like help out, but you don't want to create time to understand what I'm saying, but you believe that you know exactly the situation. Why are you talking to me? There's no point. So, Joe, if that has happened to you between two of us and I no respond again, well, just understand it that I can't be arguing with you on what you know best. So that's just the truth. My WhatsApp line is 081 353 48909. 081 353 48909. So can we talk and go a bit deeper on hybrids, the best to breed for weight, broodstock? That was Olayemi. This was the first thing I said I discussed about today. I discussed about the differences between the hybrid, the heterobungus, and the clarias. Now you are at this exactly. I've already discussed about it. Unfortunately, you came late. But for clarity, I will run through it very, very simple so that you may be able to understand this again for the interest of those people that didn't start with us. Now, I explain. In Nigeria, as a catfish farmer, you will be used to two major fishes, which is the clarias and the hybrid. But as someone who is hashing, you will be used to Joshua. My number is 081 353 48909. 081 353 48909. 081 353 48909. So someone who is hashing, you are used to three. You who is buying, you are used to two. Who is hashing is used to three. Now I will explain this very well. So the major types of catfishes that you have, the major one is your clarias. I'm talking as a breeder now. The major one is your clarias and your heterobuncus long fin. These are the two major ones. You have the clarias greenfield, and the heterobuncus long fin. Remember, I have not mentioned hybrid though. I'm talking as a breeder. Now, the difference between these two is that the clarias, the head is a little bit thicker than the hybrid. Now, the clarias has a long fin from the neck here straight to the tail. That's the major difference. But when it comes to the heterobuncus long fin, the head looks a little bit flat. Then at the back, instead of that long fin that runs from the neck region to straight to the tail, it stops halfway, and you have something that looks like an aeroplane tail. It goes up like this and bends. The adophos fin. These are the major difference between the clarias and the heterobuncus long fin. Now, The heterobuncus long fin, as it's growing over time, it grows very much long. But the clarias doesn't grow as long as this, and the clarias is bigger in size on a shorter time. But as the heterobuncus long fin is growing, it's now growing longer and bigger. Remember what I said? The clarias actually grows long, bigger. But in lengthwise, a heterobuncus over time is going to overtake it because heterobuncus will stay longer. Not that the clarias will die. Now, this is where another logic comes to play. The clarias, after 7 months, starts to get eggs. The heterobuncus takes around 12 months before it gets eggs. Now, the breeders, what they do is they use the heterobuncus long fin and to crossbreed the clarias. When they do that, what you now get is your hybrid fish. You get it? If you cross the heterobuncus long fin and the clarias, the result is your hybrid. That is why your hybrid will not have eggs until after sometimes within a year, 6 months for it to have eggs. Now, the hybrid has all the features of the clarias and the heterobuncus long fin. But then some people will tell you that at 4 months, the hybrid is bigger, longer than the clarias. It's a lie. At 4 months, the two of them still have the same features. If you keep them in the same environment, give them the same number of feed, water management and everything, you will still get the same result at 4 months. But what happens is that at this stage, if you watch the hybrid, they now keep shooting up in length. Remember, I said that the heterobuncus long fin it has more length than the clarias. So simply, by the time they get to like 7 months, the heterobuncus long fin, the hybrid would have been small, the length will be more. But then this is where the magic happens. Your clarias, after 7 months, will start having eggs. If you are a new farmer, before you stock, first guidance to you before you stock is find out what people in your place actually buys. Are they interested in the very long fish or are they interested in big catfish? This answer will direct you. I now said, if this answer is yes, 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 meaning that they don't care if it's clarias, they don't care if it's hybrid. If you're a new farmer, I will advise you to start with the clarias. Some people will say, why did you say so? It's simple. Catfish business is a business of patience. It's a business that requires you to have patience. You must have patience. Now, most new catfish farmers don't understand what it means to have patience. They are like, bang, 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 bang. They are like, hey, I want to sell, I want to sell. So because you're in a rush to sell, as a new catfish farmer, start with clarias. If your market demand is a yes, 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 you start with clarias. So what happens is that if you feed your clarias very well, at 4 months, 4.5 months, you can sell because that time they're already 1 kg, 1.2 kg. Now, somebody may argue that, oh, do I mean that the hybrid will not give you 1 kg, 1 dot something kg? I said yes. Your hybrid will give you 1 kg, 1 dot something kg. But here is the difference. If you are buying the juvenile and you buy a clarias juvenile at $50, remember any price I quote here is not static. Somebody may decide to give you cheaper. That doesn't mean anything. At $50. And then you want to buy hybrid and they say hybrid at $100. Now, if you put these two fishes in the same condition and at 4 months they achieve you the same result, why will you waste extra $50 on top of the hybrid? If you check, let's say you did 50. No, you did, let's say you did 1,000 hybrid and 1,000 clarias with the same condition. Now you have already spent 50 naira more on the hybrid. So it means that by the time you are selling it at 4 months, you're already losing 50,000. You see, you're already losing 50,000 because that is the excess money you paid when you were buying it. Why must you pay that money? So I try to explain that if you want to buy hybrid, forget what people always, people have a lot of insinuations. Forget these scraps. Now, if you want to buy hybrid, be sure that you have planned and you have feed that can carry your hybrid for like 8 months, 9 months. That is when you gain your hybrid. Because that time the hybrid will had more length, we have weight, we not have eggs. This is a plus, plus, plus. But when you are selling your hybrid at 4 months, you wasted money because look at it now. If you do 1,000 hybrid and I do 1,000 clarias, and at 4 months you still have the same result, you have already lost 50,000. That 50,000 could have been part of the profit you make. If you don't understand this thing I said now, well, you can still ask me, but I don't know how else I can explain this for you to understand it. Then you asked which is the best for weight, and that is what I just explained now. The two will give you the same result if you put them in the same management. Anything about weight gain is about spacing and your feeding. If you use the right feed them very well, your weight gain will be similar. Forget the stories that people are telling you about this. This is a catfish. And somebody once asked me feed conversion rate. In catfish, there is no permanent feed conversion rate. Forget if anybody tells you that they will eat 1 kilogram to give you 1 kg of weight. You just when somebody tells you that, just laugh. Reason why you laugh is that your water temperature at a time determines the rate of metabolic digestion of feed in that catfish at a particular time. Meaning that in cold weather, when there's cold temperature inside the water, the catfish will have a very, 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 very slow digestive time. And when the weather is very, 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 very hot, the food digestion and compassion will be almost equal to nothing because now the weather is too hot. But when the temperature is normal, they take time, they digest it, they give you the result they're supposed to give you. So if somebody quotes, oh, that's one professor, yes, the professor may have said something based on a lab determination, which is a controlled environment. And you and I know that there's no way your pond can be controlled because it's an open weather. But in the lab, you control everything there. Okay, so let's go on. I have a 2,000 liter JP tank. I've cut it into two. How many cartridges? This is a funny question. You have a 2,000. For people that know maths, because me, it's like sometimes when I read some of our questions, I say probably I don't even know maths. But this question says, I have a 2,000 liter JP tank, which I have cut into two. How many juvenile catfish can I store? And remember, 1,000 liter tank will take 50. So if maybe I don't know mass, so if I don't know mass, but let's look at it this way. It means that you have 1,000 liter and the 1,000 liter will take 50. So apparently it's 50. So please, at what time do I need to change feed like from 1.8 to 2 mm? Good. Once you stock, I go to my YouTube. Let us farm. LETUSFARM. That is Let Us Farm on YouTube. So if you go there, get to the page, just type feed sizes. Everything will come out at other changes. But for this one, when you stock, you give them 1.8 mm. After 2 weeks, you switch to 2 mm. They'll be fine. But if the juveniles you bought, they are quite big, if you just give them 1.8 for 1 week, they're okay to go to 2 mm. So that's just it. The reason for giving 1.8 is just like to step all of them up so that every one of them could actually eat, to give you the results. Sorry, you said I skipped your question. Okay, my fishes are jumbo size now, and I started with 0.8 mm and 1.8 mm. Now I have introduced 2 mm because Coppens is not available, but they are not eating. Should I feed with Blue Crown? If sometimes when you switch feed, the fishes sometimes take some 1 day, 2 days, 3 days to get used to it. Now, my advice before you consider switching feed is if this morning you fed them, they did not eat. If you have not fed them, oh, you must have fed them this night. If not, I will say skip this night, give them tomorrow morning. They will eat. But then again, since you have fed them this night, tomorrow morning, don't rush to feed them, leave them. In the evening, tomorrow, feed them, they will eat. What's happening is that they're just trying to get used to the new feed, because each time, especially when your fishes are small, whenever you change your feed size, they're going to have some issues switching to it. I can guarantee you that if you give them Blue Crown 2 mm, if you move from scratching to Blue Crown 2 mm, they will not even eat that one. Reason is that 1.0.8, 1.5, they are still coupons. They are okay, scratching. Scratching and coupons are almost similar. The protein level is almost similar. I think it's about 45, 43 or 45%. So, but if you now switch to Blue Crown, the protein level is a little bit different. And if you go and bring out that feed, put it up and smell it, you see that the aroma is different. So it's going to even take them more time to switch to your Blue Crown. So what you do is, like I said, just keep one feeding time. Then when you come the next time, more of them will be able to eat and start eating. So with that, they will start getting used to it. So when they now start getting used to it, if you now want to switch to Blue Crown 2 mm, it will now be easier for them to switch immediately. So that's, sorry about missing the question. So this was between concrete pond and tarpaulin pond, which one is cheaper to construct? Truth about it is that tarpaulin pond is cheaper. We have tanks, rubber tanks. We have tarpaulin ponds. We have concrete pond. These three ponds, cheapest is the rubber tanks. When you leave the rubber tanks, you have to tarpaulin. When you leave the tarpaulin, you have to concrete. Now, if you want to go to rubber tanks, I always advocate go for the 1,000. Remember, I don't say that tank, but I always say go for the 1,000 wide liter tank. Reason is that it's cheaper than the other black tanks. The other black tanks is more expensive, and in most of the cases you have to cut off the head of the tank, meaning that those parts now you paid for it to buy it and you're not going to use it, you have to cut it. So more or less it's like it's not useful to you. So that's why I say if it's white tank, you don't need to cut anything. Just the opening that you will cut. You cut a very small head there, so it's already good to go. Uh, I skipped your question. Which question is that, please? Water management. I've not finished now. Water management. I've not finished. Relax. So that particular issue, you discover that. That's why I always recommend go for the white tank. So when you go for the white tank, you don't have the money you spend is a little bit easier. It's cheaper than buying all those big ones and start cutting it into two. So that's why I will personally. If you have any other question, anybody that have question, drop. Don't worry, I'm not skipping. I will still get back to your question. All questions, I'm going to answer it today. So don't worry. If you have been on my live before, you know that I don't leave questions. I always answer your questions. So if by mistake I skip your question and the pages go out, just repeat the question. I will still answer it. Don't worry. I will answer all questions. I sure. So the tank is cheaper. But like I said, if you're buying tank, always buy a square tank. But if you can't buy a square tank, you can buy, if you have the other ones, the rounded ones, it's okay, just cut it and use. But for cheapness, yes. Then the one that contains more is your tarpaulin pond. Tarpaulin pond contains more than the tanks. Because the tarpaulin pond, you have option of buying very lengthy tarpaulin ponds, but tanks is just going up. And in catfish farming, like I always say, that height that goes up is useless to you. You will have to definitely cut it. Cut it to at least 4 feet so that the water inside will be 3 feet. So the thing going up doesn't really, count anything. But going the lengthwise is excellent. So that's it. But then again, you now get to your concrete pond. Your concrete pond is more expensive to construct because you have to buy concrete, buy cement. Cement is no longer cheap. Then buy sand. Then depending on the length, you may have to put pillars, which may require rod. But if the length is not that long, you don't need it. But if it's that long, you need to put rods so that the thing will not collapse. So that's why. But if you have a swampy land, earthen pond is the cheapest if you have the land, not that you're buying the land. I have earthen ponds. How long do you leave the water? We have two types of earthen pond. We have the one that the water pumps up every time, and you have the one that the water gradually comes up. So the one that the water gradually comes up, at least once every month. You can do it last Saturday of the month. You just pump out the water and put in clean ones. But the ones that have very high water, that is always boom, 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 you may not even need to change it. But still, I recommend changing the water in any earthen pond at least once a month. Then there are some earthen ponds that sometimes they dry out during dry season. What you do is sometimes every week top the water in the pond. When you see that the water is going down, top it up so the water will come up. That helps to like cleanse your pond, and it gives your fishes way more better lives, and they use it to grow very well. So coming back to the question I jumped, um, he said water management is important, but sir, my water is not good for fingerlings, but it grows jumbo to table size. Do I need to correct? The question is, how is it not good for fingerlings? How is water not good for fingerlings, but it's good for jumbo? What are we talking here? You and I know that the reason why that water is not good for fingerlings is that probably you overstocked your fingerlings. But at jumbo, some of the fishes can be able to withstand the pollution in the pond. That's the reason. The reason why I say this is simple. When you go and check it, if it's the same pH, fishes does not change their pH level. So if it's the same pH and and the pH is above the pH level for your fishes, then the fishes will die when they are in juvenile or anything. But if it is not pH, it's simply because when they are small, you overstock the pond. So, but when they are getting to jumbo, most of them would have eaten each other. So they now create more space, and some of them can be able to withstand the depth in the pond. So you now think that, oh, it's like this, my water is not good for this. But it's not, because the only difference is the water pH, which I can tell you that the big fish doesn't have any water pH different from the small fish. It's the same 10 and 10%. So there is nothing there. It just this thing I told you now is what is happening there. You overstock. So by the time they are getting to the jumbo level, they have eaten more of themselves and they are okay. And then again, at that period, they can be able to withstand more of what they cannot withstand when they are small. So that's just it. It's not anything about um this thing being this. No, that's not the truth. So this is what happens. So for me, if I were you, if you used to stock 100 before and you now notice that problem at their fingerlings, my advice is drop your stocking to 50. So when you drop your stocking to 50, you will see that they will not die at that level of fingerlings. So they will grow very well and you will be happy. So that's just it. Sometimes because fishes cannot talk, but their actions is what you just have to understand and make amends and make improvements. So that's just it. So what are we? Do I have any other question? Do I have any other question now? Oh, in some parts of the country where the rate of sunshine is higher, can I still leave my farm unsheltered? Yes. In the normal sense, your fishes need sunlight. So even if you are in a place where you don't have too much sunlight, no problem. If you're in a place where you have too much sunlight, like I always say, make sure your catfish has at least 3 feet water high. Once your water level is up to 3 feet, it's okay. All the fishes need to do is once they feel hot, they go down the pond. They go down under the water and stay there. That's what they need. So putting shade, like somebody just sent me a video of the new catfish farm they are building, and I saw they were wasting money building shed, roofing it, putting pillars, and I was asking, why are you doing all these things? He said that a consultant told them that they need it so that it provides shade. I said, wait, let me, sometimes I don't like spoiling people's business. That's why I hardly say this person is doing a bad business. The only thing I will tell you is forget about this one, check this one. But if you want me to condemn that person, I will not do it because I wasn't there when you people started the arrangement and the negotiation. So I can't be the one that will go and scatter the person's home. But if you ask me, I will give you a professional advice that this is not good, but this is good. But for me to like say, oh, this guy is bad, I will not do it. I find it difficult to do it because human beings are always not what they seem to be. So when I saw it, and I told her that, look, I don't know what the consultant told you, but like you have said, that the consultant said the fishes need it for sunlight, no, for shade. The fishes don't need it for shade. These fishes live in water. And if you go across the stream, there is no roof across any stream. And that's where we have the biggest size of fishes. But what we have there is that the water depth where catfishes live, even before it was cultured and we started doing it as catfish this thing, they always go under the mud. And under the mud is for them to have cool temperature. Now, catfishes go under the mud, especially where in the river you have the water bed is not much deep. So maybe the water bed is like 1 point something feet high. So they now dig themselves under the mud to get their cooling system. So, but if you who is now culturing it, you give them 3 feet water level, 3 feet. So all they need to do is that they float down and go there and relax. So at 3 feet down, that place is going to be cold. So the sun will not pass more than 1.5 feet up. And they're okay from that one down. That's why, when people start doing, like somebody that just sent me a video recently, her pond is okay length, but in depth was less than 2 feet. And I said, it's good though, but the question is that if you have a pond that is less than 2 feet, if you are putting water, you put water in 1 foot point something. So how do you expect the fish to go? The fishes cannot be okay because everything they will be jumping out of the pond. They need water. They need to go down. They need to rest. They need to swim. So that's where the problem starts from. So you don't need it, please. You don't need to waste your time building all those things. It's waste of resources. So don't worry about the sunlight. Even if you are living in Meduguri, once you have 3 feet water high, you are okay. At least in a situation where I sell some of my fishes and continue feeding the other ones, how will I calculate my profit? Now, the thing is this. I totally understand what you're saying. And the problem with this kind of situations is that sometimes, if you don't sell the ones remaining in the pond after you sold your first set of your fishes, the ones in the pond will not eat into the profit you've already made from the other one. You get it? Now, what I do is I actually, anyway, let me not use myself so that it don't get you more confused. But let me help out in that. What you do is, let's say you stocked 100, and when you start selling, you sold 70. You now have 30 remaining. So the normal accounting procedure in this situation is that at that point that you sold your 70, you have to do your account. So you do the account at that point. So when you do the account, check and see your profit at that level, check and see your loss. Those 30 now remaining at that point, you now budget what they will feed. That's that 30 remaining. So from that time that 30 is remaining, any expenses you do on them, you will minus it when you sell all of them. And what is remaining there will be a profit that you are going to add to the ones that you had before. Or if the ones you had before was a loss, it will be a profit that you now add to clear that loss. If you don't understand it, let me explain. Like I said, if you have total of 100 fishes, now you started selling this week. Let's give an example. Or you started selling on Monday, and by Friday you sold 70, but you don't have customers coming. So what you do is this 70 you sold, you do your cost analysis to know what you have spent so far on all the fishes at the point that you got to this 70. When you do the cost analysis of everything you sold, let's say you are on a loss of 20 naira. Example, you are now on a loss of 20 naira. Remember, you still have 30. Now, you now start feeding this 30. So if you now buy, let's say you buy one bag of feed, you start feeding this 30. So by the time you now sell off this 30, what you will now do is the cost of one bag of feed plus that minus 20 naira. So it gives you another minus as your cost. Then remove it from the total sales of the remaining 30. It will now give you your last profit. So that's it will not give you your profit at the end. Remember, you have removed everything, so it will not give you at the profit at the end. At what level did you sell the first set, and what is the table size of the launch? Well, she can answer you that one, but that's I've just told her, explain how she'll be able to, calculate her profit and loss. But someone is asking you, Emmanuel is asking you at what level did you sell the first set? Is it table size or melange? That's the question Emmanuel is asking you. So, but what I have told you now will still work out for you perfectly. So now, can I invite you to my fish farm at Abuja? Oh my goodness. One thing. I will be honest with you. If you invite me now, I know I will make money. Definitely. I will make money going to Abuja. But the truth is that the ones around me now, I never feel go all of them. So it's always a problem. And I deal on both fish and poultry. And if you understand these two things, you know that these two things they are not easy. So the best thing I can do for you is chat me on WhatsApp so that we can arrange and I will do a video tour with you of the farm. If this is okay with you, chat me on WhatsApp. So that's what I have been doing for many people who are not very close to me. The ones close to me, I can always try, but the ones that are not close to me, so I can do a video tour of your farm. So I will see exactly the position of your farm and I'll be able to help you out free of charge. So my number is 081 353 48909. 081 353 48909. So if you call me, just don't call me. Just send me a message. I will reply you. I will come here. Because if you call me now and I will be busy, I'm not gonna answer you. We think that this guy know the answer call. I do my best, but what you do, just drop a message. I will always get back to you. So he said, I have a large farm and filling them is a challenge. I need to find company that manufacture the machines. This question that I have a large farm and feeding them is a challenge. I will not deceive you. Your feeding them is never a challenge. It's not a challenge because you wanted to have a large farm. It's not like you just the large farm, happened and you didn't know how it happened. You wanted to have a large farm. Just like I said, as of today myself, I have more than 45,000 fishes. But I have never had any problem of feeding any of my fishes. It's not like I have money. But what I do is I first of all, I didn't start with all the fishes once. I did not. And as of today, I'm still trying to grow in the business. There are people that have over 200,000 fishes. But the question is, how do you start? Did you start fish with, you just wanted to do catfish and you just start big fish, bam, like that? It gives you a problem. Now, let me explain something to you. If you want to mill your fish, your feed fish yourself, and you have a large farm, I will not lie for you, there is every possible situation that you are going to lose more than half of your investment. I'm not saying this because I don't want you to do it, but I'm just I'm just trying to be honest. To be honest. The reason is simple. Whenever people want to mill their feed because they want to save cost, what they try to do is to remove some ingredients and put some things to substitute for those ingredients. And when they do it, the value that the fish is supposed to get is not going to get it. And once the fish doesn't get it, what happens is that they will not grow very well. And when they don't grow very well, they will have bad results. This is the problem. So for me, there are solutions to solve your problem. One, I don't know what the age of your fish is, and I don't know the level you have fed your fish. But if you have fed your fish to the level that your fishes you have up to 700 grams, Simple advice is get people to buy it as melange, the 700 gram, those ones like that. Clear enough number as melange. When you sell those numbers, let's say you stocked 10,000 and you're having challenges now. And inside this 10,000, you're able to like pick out 4,000 that are melange, sell all of them. The remaining 6,000 struggle and still bring out some that will still be up to 700 grams within the next 1, 2, 3 weeks and sell all of them. Gather all the money you have. If they can feed 5,000, okay. If they cannot feed 5,000, sell part of those remaining one that they can feed and maybe leave only 2,000 or 1,000. Then feed those ones to get to you 1 kg and above. When you now sell that one, that is the main profit you are supposed to make in the business. All those ones that you put before were just time that you just wasted. But it has helped you to mitigate you losing money. Because if you want to buy machine, these machines are way expensive. Maybe you order the machine from China, it comes to Nigeria at the rate of 5 million or 10 million. That is amount that you could have used to be feeding your fishes, but you use it to buy machine. Now, when this machine now come, you now look for money again to buy ingredients. You now look for people that can operate the machine. And then in buying the ingredients, you want to do substitution on the ingredient to be able to feed. You can see what is happening. So before you know what is happening now, you're going to be stuck somewhere. And once you are stuck somewhere, all the effort you have put will be wasted. If you need me to like be able to like help you on this more, just chat me on 081 353 48909. 081 353 48909. We can talk on this in detail. But what I told you now is just the truth. You know, on this WhatsApp, on this YouTube now, I have companies that have told me to market their machines, their compounding machines. And if I market it, each one I sell, I make commission. But I'm not doing it because I know it will not pay me at the end. Because at the end, when you buy it, I make money and the thing doesn't work. It doesn't. I'm not proud when people don't grow by listening to me. I'm proud when I see people grow. That's when I'm happy. But doing it to make my sharp money, beg. So that's it. So you can reach me and then we'll discuss about that. And I suggest you way forward. And if you like it, it's okay. So good days, let us farm. My fishes are not eating like before. Before I talk on that, can I hash myself? I have knowledge of hashing, but I lack courage to. Anybody that wants to hash, it's a matter of you deciding yourself. Look, if you know it, you want to try it, and you have a room that you have conditioned for the hashing, you can try it. But whatever the result comes out, it's really, it's something that you decide. So you can like decide, you know what, I have some 20,000 I want to play with. Let me try this. You try it. If it works out fine, it's okay. If it doesn't work out fine, it's okay. But everything is yourself. But like I always used to tell anybody that wants to hash, before you start hashing, I always used to ask, advise, talk to you, try and go to someone who is hashing, stay in the person's farm for at least 1 month. Then after that 1 month, you can now go home. You don't need to live in the farm. You need to be going every day to see what he's doing. In hashing, there are tricky situations. Sometimes you see that in hashing, the person may enter inside the room and decide that, oh, this temperature here is bad. You will have to adjust things to, boost this thing. So there are technicalities you need to understand so that when you are doing it, you should be able to do something and achieve something very good. But if you can, so after doing it for 1 month, then you can now go and get some money and risk the money and learn it. And if you succeed in it, why? It's okay, it's good. But if you don't succeed in it, it's still part of the training. Life goes on. So that's just it. But don't just say, oh, I now want to start asking for everybody. No, you do first, second experiment and see how it goes. So Ayomi, they said let us farm. My fishes are not eating like before. Now, if your fishes are not eating like before, should a fish of 5 months from fingerlings be on 4 mm or 6 mm? If your fishes are not eating like before, what you have to do is there are two things that may have caused it. One, I don't know how you manage your water. If the water is dirty, they will not eat. Two, if the pond is tight for them because they are growing. So when they are growing, the what they were yesterday may not be what they are today. So if they have grown, they will not be able to eat it because the environment is now choky for them. They will not eat. So consider the space that you have. Consider the water you have. Is it dirty or is it neat? Did you just change feed? All these things will be looking into to know why they are not eating. So that's just it. So he said, should a fish of 5 months from fingerlings be eating 4 mm or 6 mm? Now, 5 months from fingerlings actually is supposed to be on 4 mm. But then, if the fishes are big, what you do is you sort it. The bigger ones, put them on 6 mm, and the smaller ones, you put them on 4 mm. Considering the rate of profit, can someone use catfish farming as a source of livelihood for himself and family? Rogers Bill. Well, use me as an example. You can see that I'm not selling. Good morning, I will forever. Thank you very much. Use me as an example. You can see that I'm not like I'm selling anything because if I'm selling something here, that could have been my other source of this thing. But I'm not selling anything, and that's what I use for my sauce. And I'm also into poultry, and I'm still doing well in the two. So it's not always good to brag, but I can tell you for free, one of the best agricultural practices that will give you money is catfish farming. If you understand catfish farming and you are doing it well, it's very profitable that it can sustain you and your family. If you're somebody that likes traveling abroad, you can make money that will be taking you abroad from catfish farming. Yes. If you go to my Facebook page, you will see it. So it's not sometimes I don't like talking about things like this because when I say things like this, people be like, is it possible? Well, it's possible. It's very, very possible. So catfish farming can actually take you to everywhere you want to in this life. But the truth is, what's the average size should you be expecting from 4 months of catfish? This thing is an open check. So now the truth is you have to start from somewhere. You have to do the right thing. You have to be patient. Catfish business requires patience. You have to be patient. You have to always try to improve whatever you are doing on catfish farming. When you start with 100 catfish, start with the measurements that can work for your pond. Start by getting more customers to buy your products. Start by doing feeding your fishes very well. When you sell, the result you have will make you to plow back some money to the fish business, grow some, and keep on growing until you get to places that people can even support you in the business. And then you keep growing. I'm not saying you should go and do community farming and say, hey, I suggested it and somebody duped you. Nah, it's not a must. I did not do community farming, and it's not a must we do community farming. Some people do it, it's working for them. If you go to Ijebode, that is what almost everybody is doing there. But that doesn't mean that you must do it. Because some people say they don't have money, but they want to do it. Yes. But start somewhere. Start with the one that you have. Somebody may decide and look at you now that you are doing catfish and you have 50 fishes, and the person sees your seriousness, sees that your business is doing profit. It can support you to go to 100. But you're not doing anything, you just stay and you are thinking that if I see money, like someone once sent me a video here. He said, if I have money now, I'm going to do catfish very well. I said, okay, what ones are you doing? He sent me. What was he doing? He's doing fishes in a rubber. I just look at the rubber and say, this guy is very funny. And he told me that he knows everything about catfish. If you know everything about catfish, that thing you are using to do catfish is already an error. It's failure. So it's as good as not doing anything. So it means you don't even know what you're talking about. Please, do you mean the open? No, 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 no. What I mean by open check is that the question you ask me is an open check, meaning that it's an open-ended question. You ask me, what size do you expect at 4 months? There are things that guide the size you expect from catfish at every month. So when somebody just asks me, it's just like asking me, how tall can my child grow at 2 years? It's an open check because if I'm a short man and I'm saying how tall my child, come on, and who is God to determine how whether the child will grow. The child may decide to grow like the father or grow like the mother. You see why it's an open-ended, it's an open check. So at 4 months, if you can get one, you stock good fishes, you have good space in the pond, manage your water level, feed your fishes very well, they eat very well. At 4 months, you can be able to get 1 point something kg. The point is what I cannot tell you is point 2, is point 3, is point 4, is point 5. And if you don't do all these things very well, at 4 months, you can have only 200 grams. So you see, everything depends on factors which are decided and determined by you, not me. Yeah, so good evening. There is enough space. Okay, let me ask you, Ayomide, what is the space in the catfish that you stocked, and how many fishes do you have inside? They are starving. They were starving for almost 5 to. Oh. You are asking me this question, and at the end now, some little informations are coming out. You said you starved them for 5 to 6 days before, and you said they are not eating well. And I told you it could be space, it could be dirty water, and now you are bringing out another topic that you know. So let me find out from you, like how many do you have, and what is the size of your pond? So let me know from there. Yes, I have now understood that for 5 to 6 days you starved them. Now that you have started feeding them, they are not eating very well, right? So how many did you stock, and what is the pond size that you stock them? So let's start from them because according to you, say there's enough space. All right. Michael, please, I have an issue today. My big fishes are dying. I just have two mortalities from yesterday to today. I'm doing everything right. I haven't changed their water every morning. Like I always say, one of the first problems catfish farmers have is that they always believe, oh, thank you very much. They always believe they are doing everything right. Michael, you said uh, your catfishes, the big ones are dying. You are doing everything right. You are changing their water every morning, and the big fishes are dying. And they're 2.5 months. But you said you are doing everything right, and you are changing the water every morning. It's another question now. But you said you are doing everything right, meaning you are not doing everything right. You can't change the water every morning. You can't change the water every morning. That's the truth. That's an induced stress. But the question is, why are you changing the water every morning? And the answer is because you notice that the water is dirty every morning. And why is the water dirty every morning? And the answer will be that you have overstocked the pond. Then you said you are doing everything right. Look, um, when you have issues, when you have issues and you want to solve the issues, first thing you have to do is to ask that, don't assume that you are doing everything right. Look, if I don't know something, it doesn't make me look bad. No, I am only learning. So you know, I just want to learn. But you want to learn, but you said you know everything. Do you now learn? It becomes a problem. Because imagine you said you are doing everything right. Unfortunately, you're not doing everything right. But you said you're doing everything right. So, okay, now how do I help in that situation now? Because obviously you said you're doing everything right. So why are you not having problem? Means you're not doing everything right. So he said overstocking or overfeeding. Overstocking. If you don't overstock, you can't overfeed. It's overstocking. Overfeeding is because people don't want to spend money on feeding, so they say you're overfeeding. You can't overfeed. The only problem is that you can over pour water in the pond, which will dirty the water and contaminate the fish to die. Not that the fishes will eat too much; they cannot. So overstocking. Michael question again. Which Michael question again are you talking about? I've just answered the question that you asked me. You said overstocking, overfeeding. Okay, so I'm using 18 pond. I've sent you the video on WhatsApp. I have 600 in a big pond and 250 in a small pond. Once you have sent me in the WhatsApp, what you help me and do is please on that same video you sent now on the WhatsApp. I've not seen it. Check what is send me what's the size of the pond. So let's see if um if you actually if the number of fishes you have there is what it's supposed to be. So send me that. I had issues with my back and I had no way to get money. My brother, don't worry about the issues you have. This is it's now the news. What we are talking about now is how to solve the current issue. The video you say you sent, I have not seen the video. So whenever I see that video, I would reply you, but I've not seen the video. That's just it. So I've not seen it. So once I see it, I will reply you. What are you talking about? Michael, he said I have I have only 55 in the pond and they've been doing well. And I'm using 1,000 liter tank that's supposed to be 50, but you have 55. It's all right. It's all right. 57 inch. Oh God. Hmm, hmm. We get problem. Oh. We get very big problem. Ah, anyway, what I'm gonna tell you is that if you have 55 in that pond, first of all, I've told you you're not supposed to be changing the water every morning. I would like you to do a video when you are feeding your fishes and they are not responding. Don't change the water tomorrow morning. So when you are feeding them, send me the video. Let's see. 57-inch is 4 feet. Like I said, that ruler is 24 inches. So if you have if you say your pond size is 57-inch. And what is the next one? So you are having two of those ruler. Because sometimes I dey like this kind of topic. Oh. So we all look at ourselves and at the end of the day, you know if you are answering yourself for me. Please, I have 10 by 10 pond and I stock 400 unit to table size, but I change what every day before. Okay, before of the day they smell. The truth is that your 10 by 10, if it is 10 by 10 by 4 feet, meaning you're supposed to have 3 feet water, what you're supposed to have in that pond is 120 fishes. So if it is possible for you, get another pond, please, and reduce it. 400 is way too much for 10 by 10. It's more than what you're supposed to stock there. So if you can, that would be a very nice thing to help you and that will help you to reduce the smell. Most of the reasons that make your pond smell is when you have too much fishes in the pond. So when they are too much in the pond, it makes it to have odor, and that's the truth. So if you can reduce it, yeah, well, because of the smell. That's what I'm saying. For you to not to have smell, the pond has to have the number of fishes they're supposed to have there, or even less. They won't smell. But when you have too much fishes in a small space, they will sell. They will smell. I mean, you're supposed to have 120 fishes there, but you're having 400 there. You have to experience very bad odor every day. If you put 120 fishes there, they will not smell. That's the truth. It did, Igwe. Thank you very much. I appreciate. I appreciate. Also, I make sure even if a single feed on the water after I feed them, it's okay. You do all those ones. Yeah, do a video when you are feeding. Please don't change the water. Send me the video so that when I look at that video, I will see the situation and we can discuss more. Yeah. So if you still need my number, it's 081-353-48909. So anytime anybody has a pond that your fishes smell too much, please, the first thing you have to do is reduce the number of fishes you have in that pond. That's why it's smelling. I give you an example. A pond that is supposed to take 100 fishes and it has 200 fishes. So what happens is that the waste, like I always say, fishes actually they actually release waste. Make I break am down. They urinate inside water and they poo inside water, but it comes as urine. Now, if the pond is supposed to take like 100, they meet up, good evening. So if they're supposed to take 100, that's the water in a particular container. It's supposed to take 100 with like 100 fishes inside. Now, if the fishes inside are now 200, you know that the urine and the waste they are passing inside that water will be double. So when they are double, that water quantity can no longer hold those things. So when it can no longer hold it, it will come too much, it will come the smell. Now, if you want to know if what I'm saying is correct, what you will do is your toilet in the house, if you have water system toilet, when you go to your water system and pee, don't flush it, go. Allow three people to go there and pee. Don't flush it. Then go there and see if it will smell. But if only you go there, go pee, go there and see if it will smell. It will know. So it will not smell if it's only you, because that thing is meant to carry one urine. Second one come pee, e no go still smell because the two of you can still be withered down. But when it is three, if you go there sef, you go see say the urine don come up, because the quantity of the urine at that time will now be higher than the quantity of water inside the chamber, and the urine will come up and start smelling. Same thing in fish business. So when the fish discharges its own waste, it stays in the water. But now double the fish size is now discharging the waste. So it means that double the waste that is supposed to be in a particular place is there. What will now happen? They will float and start smelling. That's why it's smelling. So there's nothing. Somebody have asked me one day, is there anything they can put inside? Anything you can put inside that water to stop that smell will kill your fishes. So please avoid it. So the best you can do is to change the water. But remember, if you're in a compound and you're having problem with people, if you change the water, that water is going to pour on the floor. Before it will dry, it's going to smell in the whole compound, and people are going to be mad with you if it doesn't dry away immediately. So that's it. How often is it safe for me to change water in a tarpaulin fish tank? Okay. In a tarpaulin pond, change your water every 2 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday morning, you change. Thursday, Friday, Saturday morning, you change. So when you do that, you are okay. When you do that, you are very, very, very okay. I once told somebody this thing, and what he told me is that, okay, in other words, since we have 7 days in a week, the third one should be 3 days. I didn't answer that question because I know where it's going. Obviously, it doesn't have water in the compound. So it's now trying to hear it from my mouth that it will be 3 days. But when I said 2 days, some of us were just funny. You just want me to say it so that tomorrow you say, that is what I said. But that's not what I said. So yeah, I feed 2 times a day, but I'm planning to be feeding 3 times a day when I stock new. When I stock new, hope my profit margin will be high. Now, let me explain this particular issue again about feeding 3 times and feeding 2 times. See, when you feed 3 times, once your fishes are eating, because this is where problem is. Some of us who don't understand the meaning of the feeding 2 times and 3 times. If you feed, that is, you are putting feed, and your fishes are eating, even if it's 4 times and they are eating it as you are putting, you are seeing them eat. Not that you put feed and go and say they will eat later. They will not eat. Oh, that food will become soggy. They won't eat. But as you are putting the food, you see them, they are eating it. Before you leave there, they don't finish everything, and you feed 3 times and they ate it 3 times. Your profit will still be there. But now, what it does for you is that if you are supposed to achieve 1 kg in 4 months, because you're now feeding that number of times, you bring it down to 3.5 months. So, because it's just like the more you are giving the fish, the more it's growing out, the more you are giving the. So, if you now weigh the fishes, you discover that you achieve the result earlier than what it's supposed to be. simply because of the fact that they are eating very well. But some people will tell you that if you do it, you lose your. How will you lose? Because these fishes, they eat and convert it to body energy, which is what you sell at the end of time. Now, if you see them, they eat it in the morning, they convert to energy. You give them in the afternoon, they eat it again, they convert to energy. You give them at night, they eat it again, they convert to the energy. You see, everything you have done, they are still converting it to energy. So it means that when you now weigh the energy, it's going to be times two of what is supposed to be before. So instead of waiting for it, you now bring it forward, which is still good for you as the farmer. But problem here is that most people, when they don't have money to feed, will keep putting bad ideas. They will tell you, no, you feed your fishes once. When you feed it twice, you're wasting money. My question is, if you feed it once, what's going to happen for the rest time they did not eat? How will they feed? They will say, no, that the fishes will keep growing. Wow. I always like to be very rational when I am having some, deliberations about things like this. I like people be able to prove your point. Explain to me how. When you cannot prove a point, but you're always telling us they said, it means you have no point. How? When you can't say how, forget about it. No point. Just saying what is in your mind or saying it because you want to save money, don't have money. That's the fact. But what you're not doing is that you want gang, you want people to join you and do it. So that's what you're trying to do. Okay, I think I received your video, but no. Mm. So that's just it. Send me the size of this pond that you sent the video. Ayomide, send me the size. Send me the size. Let me know the size of this pond. And this your pond, the bush in this your pond is even too much. But send me the size. Send me the size. I just saw the pond now. I thought you said these fishes are not eating. Are they not eating like this? Ah, send me the size. I will know so that I can chat you and know exactly what you have. You said you have cleared the bush, but I'm seeing bush. Maybe the video I'm seeing here is different from what you are saying because the video I'm seeing here has too many bush around it. And you said the fishes are not eating, but in this video now, you sent to me now, they are eating. So I don't know. Maybe this is an old video. I don't know if you can be able to give me a current video so that I will understand exactly what's the problem, the better for all of us. So okay, last question. What are your advice for new catfish farmers in terms of marketing? Ah, hmm. Now, the issue about marketing is this. Yeah, good evening, Precious. The issue about marketing is this. Like I always say, marketing is the major thing in any business you are doing, apart from catfish. Let's be, let's say it in a way that all of us will understand. Apart from catfish, anything you are selling, your marketing is your biggest issue. But once you get your marketing right, you don't need to be looking for markets. As of today, in my farm, I don't, I don't, you can't go online and see where I put any notice that I'm selling my catfish. No, I don't do that. I don't market my fish again. It's not because I don't have fish. As a matter of fact, what I do today is every 6 months, I try to increase the number of my fishes by looking for more ponds, and that's what I used to, that's how I used to do my own. Because everybody has what you plan in life as your growth strategy. But for some years now, what I do, my growth plan is that every 6 months, I always try to add one pond and add more fishes. That's what I always do. Now, as a new catfish farmer, when I started, my first challenge was marketing. But it wasn't a very serious problem for me because I already had a small idea of what marketing looks like. So the first set of marketers I approached when I started Catfish, if you understand Ondo State very well, you know that Ondo State, they like Eja. To the point that they have one restaurant they call Eja Tonsoro, fish with the talk. That's the name of the restaurant. So they like fish very well. Now, my first set of people that I actually contacted to market my fish was there are these women, they carry white buckets. When you look at the bucket, you see fish inside. So when I was constructing the pond, then I wanted to start. I met these women and I told them that, hey, I want to start catfish business. If they could be coming to me to buy, they promised me that they will come. Then I collected their number and left. So when it was time for me to sell, I now started because now we are so much new catfish farmers now are the luckiest. Even though most of them now still come out with bad results, which is as a result of some of them just being stubborn. They don't want to know. They don't, they already have this mindset that, oh, I saw Mr. Lagbaja driving one Jeep like that, and he's a catfish farmer. So I want to do it. But what you don't understand is that some people you see that just start catfish like that, some of them are already big, but they're looking for where to do investment. So you see them moving around, you think that they just started 10,000 fishes and they just made the money. It's not correct. You have to build to get to that point. So in marketing, when I met this woman, then these women and I now told them, and so when it was time for me to sell, I now called them, went to them. They gave me the first shock in the business. The way they talked to me when I told them that, hey, I want to start catfish farm, what I want to sell. What they told me then was different from what they told me when I wanted to sell. What they told me then was like, if your fish are ready now, we'll come and buy everything. But when I wanted to sell, I met them. They gave me the first shop. They say, hey, they don't have time for me now, no. That they are going to buy from, call the name of the pond. That's where they are going to buy. That I didn't understand that then. I was pissed off. But then again, I'm at their mercy because I have no idea whatsoever what to do. But then I didn't relent. So when they told me the place they were going to, I started asking them the name of the pond so that I will go there and meet them. And they told me. So I actually went to that pond to meet them. So when I now got there, I was not like, you guys promised me you will come, but what's going on? They told me that, look, they are buying from this person and it's their old customer. And they don't know what I'm going to produce because that's the first thing. They don't know what I'm going to produce. If I'm going to produce what exactly they have. So when I got there, they asked me, what do I have? I told them, I have 1 kg. I have below 1 kg. So they were like, okay, that they will come, that they are buying that man's fish that week. Luckily enough for me that time, I still have money to be feeding the fishes for that week. So that was it. So I kept disturbing them. Something I thought they will buy this Monday, they push and go the next Monday. I don't mind though. So that next Monday, when they came, being that there are just about three of them then, being that these are the only people I know that can help me. Because even when I got to the pond that day, these other people did not even answer me. When I was telling them, I get fish to sell, they didn't answer me. It was a funny experience, but it made me understand what it. This is I'm telling you, if you're a new catfish farmer and you are listening to me, you are supposed to use it to, hey, Chief Best Farm, how you doing now? Longest time. I sent some people to you about Tapolin. I don't know if they got across to you. I don't know if they got across to you, but I will still try and chat you up. But I sent some people to you about Tapolin ponds. So that was how I started the catfish. So now, when those people came after that disappointment, so I was now asking them, and they told me right away that look, they've never bought fish from me, so they cannot assure me that they will buy fish from me. So that was how, I started like telling them that this is what I have in the pond, blah, 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 blah. So those women were like, okay. First of all, the price wasn't that good. Then I think then a kilo was 500 then. So, they came to me instead of buying the 500, they were say asking me to remove money for them. At that point, I didn't really have a choice because I actually wanted to make my sales. This was my first experience. So when I went through that, by the time I wanted to stock my next set, I had to carefully Go back to the pond that they told me that they were at that time to go and meet the owner of the pond, who wasn't ready to like answer me. He was looking at me like, this small boy, what's your problem? Because then people doing catfish then were mainly retired civil servants. So when you come as a young guy trying to do it, they look at you like, what's this small boy? What are you doing here? This was the problem, the challenges I faced then. That's how people then that do the catfish poultry farm, this is them, the retired civil servants. They end up in the business then. So, but we were young guys that, we had this energy, we wanted to take up the business. They were not happy with us, but at the end of the day, they cannot say, hey, these boys, you cannot do it. So that was how I now started the second set. I had to go. That was when I now understood that, okay, you know what? Let me go to the market to go and look for people that sell fresh catfish and market them. So now, if you are a new catfish farmer, this was my experience, which was not very good. And you have opportunity to build on the experience to make yours better. So what you have to do is that understand as a new catfish farmer, your first priority is marketing before you even stock. If you're in Lagos, you have the highest luck in life when it comes to catfish business. You know why I say this? My 12 has one of the highest markets in Nigeria to buy catfish, both the smoked one and the live one. Go there, make your findings, make arrangements of people that will buy from you when you're about to sell. Good thing about my 12, they have agents that will sell for you. You don't even need to sell it, they will help you sell it for you. If you're not in Lagos, it's no problem. I've never been to my 12 to sell my catfish, but this is what people have gone there and they told me that this is how it works. You have agents. I even got some numbers of some agents then, but later on, I didn't see any reason why I should go because then I was having challenges. So, what you do, like I did, I now went to the market and now sought for people that actually sell fresh catfish. This is depending on your locality. In some places, they don't have people that sell fresh catfish in the market. What they have in the market is people that sell the natural catfish, which is not of what you do. So what you do is go to joints, any joint that they sell beer, ask them, they say catfish, ask them that you want to bring catfish for them. Do not sell to them on credit to those people. They will pay you cash. That's the agreement. But you discuss with them, they will tell you how much they can buy from you. If it's okay for you, fine. If it's not okay, go around and meet other joints. Discuss with them. When you discuss with them, then you now have many of them. That's why I always tell people start with small. You don't need to blow up 10,000, 5,000. How do you plan to sell? Start with small, 100, 200, 500. So when you now sell it, you now understand the logic of selling. So when you now understand the logic of selling, that is how you now start the business. Today, I don't bother about my customer because I know that each time I know people that will come on each set. So all I need to do is just send them text that this fish will be ready at social date. They will reply me, okay, we are coming. Simple. That day you will see them because if they don't come, I will call another set because I have built it over time. It's not like now, some people will tell me, hey, they want to sell, do I have customer? The issue is that I may not have customer in where you are staying. And if I direct my customer to come to you, he will not agree to come because he will say, I can't waste my fuel and go to this person and don't get what I want to get with this cost of fuel. They will not want to do it. So you have to start with people immediate around you. Then your news, your information will now start going around, and people will now start knowing that this guy, he get time. So if I come to his farm, I won't waste my time. I will see what I want. So this is how it's something that you have to grow in it with time. So Temito, he said, I'm planning to open my own pepper soup joint and grilling. What do you think, sir? Perfect business. Perfect business. If you have a pepper soup joint that you are selling on your own, Omo, now you dey make money for the business. Because now, look at this thing we are saying we are selling at 2,500, 3,000 per kilo. You will produce, you will sell. It means you are not selling at that money. You can be selling it when you check, it may come to what you're selling, maybe like 3,500 or 4K per kilo because you are the one who will start from the beginning to the sales. And you may not even wait for your fishes to be too big because you have customers, you know what they want. So all they need is once they want anything, just bring it inside the pond and bring out and they buy. So that's a very good business. I won't Let me tell you one funny thing. When I started poultry business, initially when I was starting my egg business, I was having problem with egg. One of the people that saved me from egg glut, when there was egg everywhere, I didn't have anywhere to sell my egg. You go, that's when you will see egg. Even to eat the egg, you can't. You have egg everywhere. One of the people that helped me was Meshai. These are our brothers from the north that sell tea and all this. They helped me because at that point I didn't know what to do. My brain was filled up because man, I have stacks of crates of eggs. There was nothing I could do. What I did was I went to the people, the Meshai people. I went to them and I told them that look, I have eggs. That time I drop price for them. So what these guys do is in the morning like this, I go load the egg, go there, drop. In the evening, I load another set. So when I come in the evening, I collect money. See, that's my experience. So don't go and do it without collecting money. But in my own case, for the egg, at that time, because I had excess egg that were practically wasted. So I knew that any money I collected from it was a profit to me. So I load for them in the morning and they do their morning tea. By evening time, I load another set, collect the money from the morning. That was how they helped me to bring down my egg. And at the end of the day, I came out of that mess. Damn. And I had to like started arranging, replanning, and doing the business. So this just a glimpse of how you sometimes you meet some very difficult situations in this business, but when it happens you just have to think a way out. But then Catfish has many holes you can use in selling your fishes. One, there are like I said, in the place I stay, we have people that hawk fresh catfish. They carry white transparent bucket. Then inside the market, there are these people that sell fresh fish. They sell fresh fish. If where you are staying doesn't have this, you can check the neighboring town, the neighboring village, neighboring community, and see if they have. Now, apart from the people that sell this thing inside the market, you have the beer parlor people. The beer parlor people is people that every day they must buy fish, believe it or not. Every day, beer parlor, they are selling fish, they are killing fish, they are buying fish. Then when you leave beer parlor, you have the hotels. You can't rule them away. It's the hotel that you see people that their job is barbecue. And hotels are always, they may not buy quantity, but you are sure. Now, if you imagine if you get like 5 hotels and each of them is like buying 1 kg every day, something. So you start from somewhere. If you supply 1 kg to the hotels, you go to the markets, people that are selling fresh fish, you supply to them. You supply people that are carrying on their head. You know, when you start, within 1 or 2 weeks, you finish selling a set. That point, you are waiting to start the next set. You will now use the opportunity. Go back to the same market. These people that are selling fish in the market, ask them, you need the contact of their suppliers, meet their suppliers and tell their suppliers, because those suppliers, they have more network than you. Tell them that, can they come and start buying fish? Because that is, when sometimes when I saw people who say, oh, they don't deal with that. They are the main people I sell my fishes to, those middlemen. But the difference is that because we have known ourselves, what I will sell to them, you can't sell to them. They can come to my farm now and say 3,000. If they come to your farm now, if you are struggling to give them 2,500, they will not want to buy it. Because one, they tell you that uh, which one is this one? And they don't know, maybe they get home now, this your fishes will die. Because they've not built the trust for some time. But for me, it is something that is already established. So that's just how it works. So said I will be starting around September. My projection is to open joint when first we are getting ready for kitchen selling. Yeah, it's okay. Very, very good plan. If you can start it is a very good plan. Then smoke some package and sell. Smoked fish is market. Smoked fish is market. You have two types of ways to smoke it. Either you use standing oven, or you can call these local women in the market, pay them small change, they will help you and smoke the fish. But remember, before you do any of these things, always look out for where you want to market it. Look out for who is going to buy it. Someone once asked me one certain time, is can he export fish? What are you talking about? Are you kidding me? Exporting catfish is a very big money. Many people you see for the north that sell as mangala, the as mangala they sell, most of them actually carry it outside Nigeria and they make a hell of money. But before you do it, please, please, please go and look for where you will sell. Make the arrangement so that you don't waste money finish now and you will start looking like, oh my, these boys don't put me for trouble. Nobody put you for trouble. Oh. Find it out before you do it. In my two, they buy it very well. That's why you see all these aboki that will come to you and they tell you they don't want to buy any melons that is more than 300 grams. They know what they are talking about. But it wouldn't pay you. So I always tell people, instead of you to sell to their aboki 300 grams of melons, put money for transport, go my 12, go and ask them, how much will they buy one bag of smoked fish from you? Tell them that this smoked fish you have now, your catfish, oh, how much will they buy one bag? When they give you the thing, sit down and do the calculation. Because that's what the same thing that they do. The same thing that they do. Thank you very much, Collins. That's something that they do. What they do is they smoke it and they move it to Lagos. When they get to Lagos, they sell it in my 12 big bags of this thing of smoked fish, and those people buy it there for export and all. Go and find out yourself. But you can't sit down in one place and be thinking that somebody from my contact from internet to give me away. It doesn't really work that way. So I've been watching your videos for Thank you very much, Temitope. By God's grace, we'll still be doing what we do. The only thing I always ask anybody that's following this channel is if you want to learn catfish, I'll be ready to teach you whatever I know in catfish that has brought me to where I am today. I'm willing to like teach you and still guide you for free. But my only condition is you should be willing to listen. Because at the end of the day, I used to say something. We are not dragging anything. We are not dragging anything. And if you watch the way I talk about catfish, you see that I practically tell you everything about catfish. There's nothing I want to hide because it doesn't pay me to hide anything from you because at the end of the day, the sky is big enough for all of us to like thrive. So why should I, in God's name, hide anything in the name of doing whatever I don't know? So if you have any questions, or you're having issues, like I always say, simply reach out to me. Just send me a message on WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number is 081 353 48909. Thank you very much, Kachi. 081 353 48909. So when you reach out to me, tell me what the problem is. Do a video of the pond that is giving you problems. Just send it to me. So when you send these things to me, I'll be able to like tell you exactly what we do to get out from the situation that you are. The problem I have is that most people, they like me to like refer them to drugs, treatment that they will spend money. And I keep on wondering, I thought that you want to get it done and done it very well without spending money. So why do you want to spend money? Why are you willing? Tell us the drugs that you are using. Drugs and catfish. I don't use any drugs. That's the truth. And truth is that most people that use drugs and all this in catfish, like I told someone last time, is people that have very small pond. Sorry, I don't do class. I don't do class, but anytime you have anything, just send me a chat. If you have any problem, send me a chat. I will help you. 081 353 48909. There's nothing like class. Everything you need, go to my YouTube page. Let us farm LETUSFARM. Every topic from one to end is there. And anyone you don't have there, just like ask me and I'll help you out. I would like to know about it. I'm a farmer, but I do other aspects of farming. I do poultry and I do cooking. Anytime, just send me a chat. We always chat. There's no problem. But sometimes don't expect that you send me a chat immediately. I will respond. I will be very busy. So just drop your message. I will always get back to you. So it's you see the truth about it is like I said, we don't need to drag anything about this thing. It's catfish farming and it's not always what people think. So you just have to take it one step at a time and you get the best result. But some of us, like I told the guy, I said the problem is that it's people. What's your YouTube? My YouTube channel is Let Us Farm. The same name with TikTok, LETUSFARM. Let Us Farm together. Let Us Farm. So the guy was asking me drugs, drugs, drugs. I said, come, all these drugs you're asking me is for. He said to take treatment. I said, look, the reason why you're asking me for drugs is that I have explained you don't need drugs, but look at what you have to do to get the result. But you are pushing for drugs. Reason why you're pushing for drugs is that people that have small pond, like use small pond. I'm not saying this to disrespect people that use. Oh, I started with a very small pond. I always say it, but when you use small pond, you always think like that. For instance, you use small pond, you're asking me you want to put bitter leaf inside. I'm saying you don't need it. Change the water. He said, no, 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 no. You want to put bitter leaf. Tell me the drugs. You want to go and buy it. And I gave him example. I have a pond. My pond now is one of my ponds that I used on 5,000 fishes, about 50 by 100. One plot is pond. 5,000 fishes was raised there. Go to my channel, you look at it. The sales from that pond. Now, imagine if I was supposed to put bitter leaf water inside one plot of land. Wait, you, how many bitter leaf will I be able to press to pour inside that pond to heal those fishes? This is simple. Just think about it. Somebody that have a pond like that, and they say I should buy drugs. Finish now. What kind of drugs will I buy that will affect the pond? You keep explaining, but people seem, I don't know. So that's true. I have told some people that I don't use drugs. They will not believe it. Some people don't believe it. If you tell them you don't use drugs, they say it's a lie that you don't want to tell them the truth. Which one is the truth? I think the guy was like confused. I said you don't need to be confused. I am telling you that if you have a big pond, there is no way somebody will tell you to press bitter leaf and you'll be ready to press the bitter leaf. The question is, are you going to press one lorry load of bitter leaf? What? It's just the truth. Most people that started this issue of bitter leaf is when people are looking for what to tell people on the internet, they don't see. They just swing you to one side and you just believe it. One day now, Nami go start punking water. Just watch. One day, I will just tell people that, look, you know what? Pumpkin water will make your catfishes to be healthy. After all, pumpkin water gives blood. Is that not what we are told? Pumpkin water is vitamins. It's even more healthier than bitter leaf water because bitter leaf water are dirty. But pumpkin water is vitamins. So when I start the idea now of printing pumpkin water, you will see so many people will still believe it. Because if I tell you how to use it now, you go and use it and you see result, you will be surprised and you will believe it. But then again, that may not be what is working. They say put pumpkin water, then discharge it after 30 minutes and put clean water. You do it. You will not know that what is going to work is when you put the clean water after 30 minutes. And you will believe the pumpkin water. I'm telling you. And if I start it and I just do a practical example, I'll just bring the pumpkin water, just a press and press and press. And I will tell you that this fish is now, I will change this water in 30 minutes. You see this fish is because I saw the actual video that started this bitter leaf water out. For some reasons, I won't mention the name of the channel. Then when the guy started it, he went, put fishes in a what do you call it? White glass tank. He now poured the bitter leaf water. I said, you see, this is what I do every time, and my fishes don't die. When I saw it, I was like, wait, this guy that is doing this thing, you know how many ponds this guy have? And he did it, and how did it work? Just lying to people so that we get more traction. Come on, I don't believe in all those things. That means what really works is good. It's good hygiene. It's good hygiene that works. It's not this thing that you are putting. It can't work. It's good hygiene. Just like I just gave you an example now. Pumpkin water and bitter leaf water, which one is more useful? It's pumpkin water. Because if you somebody that know about kids, you remember that when your kids are saying they have short of blood, they will tell you to press pumpkin water, give them to drink. Why wouldn't they tell you to give them bitter leaf water? Bitter leaf water is the dirtiness from the bitter leaf that you press out. That's why if you're from the east and you know bitter leaf soup, when you want to cook bitter leaf soup, they tell you to press it very well so that you remove that water and then the leaf will now be not be too bitter. But with the water, is bitter because the water is the dirty bitter thing in the bitter leaf. So when you press it, you have reduced the bitterness and you now use the bitter leaf to cook soup that people eat. If you doubt it, go and pluck the bitter leaf like that, use it and cook soup. If you're able to eat that soup, you will not say kaki no be leather. It's just the truth. That is just the truth. So now just ask yourself, come, that water that we are pressing so that we'll get the better quality of bitter leaf is what somebody is asking us to pour for our fish to get better. Just ask yourself, how come? Is this thing really okay? But now check if it was pumpkin. You are told that pumpkin contains vitamins, natural vitamins, all these trees, they contain vitamins. But in pumpkin own, they want you to extract the vitamin and drink. You get it? They want you to extract the vitamin and drink. So when you now extract that vitamin, they tell you to drink it. So the same thing, if you give it to any other thing, it will eat it and it will be fine. But the bitter leaf, you cannot drink that water because it's poisonous, it's dirty. But that's what you are giving to your fish. Ah, so he said how to avoid much mortality. Stock according to your size. If you have a pond, just send me message, ask me what is the quantity that a pond is supposed to take. I will tell you. If you stock according to what I tell you, and make sure that you put your water level at 3 feet high, and make sure that anytime you are feeding your fish, you don't just pour scatter feed in the pond and the thing dissolves there and dirty the water. So it's as they are eating that you are putting food for them. Everywhere is clean, good hygiene. You change your water every 2 days, your fishes will not die. And if they die, it's just less than 2-3% that will die because once you are buying fish, your seller is supposed to give you some percentage, maybe depending on how it counts. Some count every 50, they give you one. The reason is that they may die out of stress on transportation, and they know that every living thing got to die, one mistake or the other. So that less than 1% is what you may likely see to die once you do everything I told you to do. And in some cases, they will not even die. Maybe you raised 100 fishes, and at the end, when you are selling, you discover that only 3 or 4 died. From juvenile to like 5 months, that's a very good score. So imagine, do you think you did not add anything, but you made sure that everywhere was okay, clean for them, so they will not die? How will they die when you are doing the normal thing? But imagine you are using bitter leaf water and they keep dying. What else do you want to use? Ah, this is our class. We go soon end though. So, what about? Okay, let me do this because I don't talk for 2 hours today. Please, I'm about to start an average. How many bags of feed will I use to feed 150? 150 fishes is about 16 bags of feed. It will do you to an average weight of 1 kg. So, what will it cost us to, as a mentor? Okay, you know what I will do for you? Just chat me up on 081 353 48909 from Delta State. Just chat me up on 081 353 48909. Now, class with this already now. Famous, thank you very much. I did try. No, be say I know they try. I did try. I know. I know that we don't need drugs, but if the fishes are dying in the pond, and can we use to kill the fishes without drugs? My brother, we don't need drugs. Now, what will make your fishes to die is what you are supposed to stop when they are dying. Now, if you don't understand this, let me tell you. That's why when people tell me that their fishes are dying, I try to understand why are they dying. You see, the best way to life, if you're having any problem in this life, any problem in this life, and something is affecting you, and you want that thing to stop affecting you, what you do is you find out why that thing is affecting you. When you remove it, you won't have that problem again. Does that make sense? Well, I don't know, but I think it makes sense. So now, if let's say if you are someone who every time you break down of typhoid fever, every time you are breaking down of typhoid fever, and what you do is every time you are taking drugs, whenever you break down of typhoid fever, that means you are not planning to get over typhoid fever. But what you're supposed to do, someone who is smart, is if every time I break down of typhoid fever, I'm going to find out from my doctor or from anybody who treats me is what causes typhoid fever. When they tell you that thing that causes the typhoid, avoid the thing. So when you avoid it, you will never break down of typhoid. Simple. So in this situation, your fishes are dying. The question is, why are they dying? And whenever you check why they are dying, there are things that come to play. One, overstocking. But nobody wants to believe that you overstock. When you tell people they say, no, we did not. There is too much space in the pond. How did you know? I have once told somebody that if you want to know the space in your pond, if it's okay, measure the length of the fish inside your pond. Then measure the length, the breadth of the fish, and multiply by the number of fishes and see if they'll be able to fit into that thing that you're talking about. You know. So when the first thing that causes it is overstocking. Second culprit that causes it is check your water. If the water level in your pond is very low, it's already inducing stress, and when it induces stress, the fishes will die. Check if the water is very dirty. And once you overstocking will always make the water to be dirty because it will be contamination. And that will make your fishes to die. If you solve these things, magic. Somebody just said it here now that after I reduce the number of fishes in the white tank, it stopped dying. It's magic. But then you don't want to do all these things because for your mind, no, how can they tell me to reduce the number of fishes? Come on. I have to stock big fishes. I have to stock quantity fishes. So I don't need to reduce the number of this one. Somebody need to know that me, I have 1,000 fishes, and this guy is telling me to reduce the number. Where will I put it? Mm. At the end of the day, you come out with nothing. You will not make a dime. You won't make any profit from the business. So what have you gained? You just wasted your time. And when you waste your time, because you don't want to believe in yourself that you've wasted your time. So you still believe in yourself. You tell yourself that it's that guy that gave me bad fish. Next time again, you go and buy the same quantity, put it in the same pond. They still have another problem. You turn again, he say, it's those people that help me to do work in the farm. They are the cause. You see, you don't want to believe yourself. You do it again. The next time again, they tell you the same thing. You said, no, this time around, I'm sure it's the man that sold feed to me must have given me bad feed. All these things, you still have refused to accept the truth. And guess what? Each time it happens, you borrow money. Tell the person, don't worry, I will pay. You go about looking for money every time. And you are bragging, I'm a catfish farmer. It doesn't work out like that. They reduce it. Do the normal thing. They will stop dying. And you sell your fishes and you make your money. Mhm. So it's not about that. That's just the truth. So he said, I believe people have different understanding about catfish farming. They use super grow or super grow to make my oh my God. You see, I don't want to mention this, but just listen to what he wrote. Say thank you very much. This video is so rich. I'm so grateful, sir. Um, one just have to be careful, put your lectures into practice. The marketing aspect seems to be more strategic. Not be by mouth, though. Of course, Jegede, marketing is strategic, not be by mouth. Then see this one. This one says, I believe people have different understanding about catfish farming. Now my mentor is telling me to use super grow or super grow to make my fishes grow, and it's very expensive. Without calling name of any booster, of any growth enhancement, I always ask people very simple question. These companies actually talk to a group of people, right? They talk to many catfish farmers, right? If if this thing works as they talk, do you think that they will come to you to tell you to use it? The answer is no. Why? Because all these other people will be using it and the result will be everywhere. Nobody will tell you to go and buy paracetamol when you have headache. You already know that your treatment for headache is paracetamol. Even we have other drugs that stop headache, right? But because paracetamol is one of the household names, you know it. So also, if these things work the way they tell you to buy it, I'm telling you that even the ordinary woman in the market that sells fish, before you talk, you tell you to go and buy that thing. But these things don't work. Now, the annoying part, without calling any company or being immodest, trying to demarket any company, because that's one thing I avoid, so that nobody will say I demarketed this and I'm marketing this. I won't do that. Without being immodest, trying to demote or call anybody's name. Now, when this thing doesn't work, you go back to them and complain. What they're going to tell you is that you did not follow the principle of application of such product. Remember, you may have bought it 25 or 30,000. They will tell you that, hey, you did not follow the principle. They will tell you to sit down, that they will bring you a video clip and play to you. Then they will bring you a video clip of a particular guy that will hold one massive fish that you have never seen in your entire life and tell you that, you see this guy, he achieved it. You ask them, they've been selling it around you. Which pond achieved it? They say, don't worry, that the products, people here, they don't know you are the first person. You again buy this thing again, it didn't work again. They now come and tell you, are you sure that the person that sold that fish to you did not sell bad fish to you? You see, they now push, and because you actually believe these people, so you still believe that maybe it's the fish, and you keep on doing everything, doing it. Until it gets to a time you can no longer run the business, you pack up and they move on to the next person. I'm not demarketing anybody. That's why I've not called anybody. I only read out what somebody said, but I'm just giving you an experience. I have heard from people who have actually bought this thing over the years, because they still came to us in poultry and told us the same thing about the thing boosting our egg size and everything. At the end of the day, it didn't work. It was all stories. So be careful how you spend your money. Jagger, thank you. How often can I wash my 1,000 liters for the entire 6 months of production? Like I always said, you don't need to wash your pond. But if you must wash it, when you check the YouTube, you see where I posted how to wash your tarpaulin pond. Use the same strategy. Now you can wash it after every 2 months. But after the first 2, 3 months, the ponds will never be dirty again. They will just have very slight thing on the body, showing that water has been there for a very long time. Can you feed your fishes that are 2 months old with 2 mm? Of course, at 2 months, they should be on 2 mm. The first day of their third month before you go to 3 mm. Yes, you can. Washing your tank is a choice, not a necessity. Famous, thank you very much for that. That's what I always tell people. It's a choice, not a necessity. But if you must do it, go there and follow the ways that I have said you do it, so that you don't end up, poisoning your fishes because of the dirty water that comes back during the washing of your pond. So it's not a must that you wash any pond that you're using. So that's just it. So it depends on you, as you wish. Yeah. So my people, I want to thank all of you. Hopefully, by next week, Saturday, we may still be able to do this same time. I will try, every month we do this 2 times, make the other 2 weekends, make I get them for myself. Before I don't like doing life, 'cause I actually don't have time, but because of, please now do it so that some other people can be able to like. Thank you, Sunday, so that some other people can be able to like have a one-on-one and ask me questions. It's okay. So next week, God willing, we'll still be able to do this live, same time, same station, same channel. So if you're having any issue between now and that time, or there's something that came up in your mind you want me to discuss, you can always drop it down. Can always drop it down, put it that you want me to discuss it in the live, and I will surely discuss it, because every question that was dropped for me to discuss in the live, I have actually gone through all. And other questions that people brought as this is going on, I've actually gone through it. But I will keep on, like there are some certain topics that we. Oh, thank you very much. Thanks a lot for learning from me. If you learn from me, please make sure that you implement it. I'm always happy seeing people's results. You know why? it makes me to understand that some people actually listen, even though I know that majority don't. But at least out of 100, if only two people listen, I'm good. So I'm actually happy seeing that you're learning from me. So there are some topics that I will keep on talking about, like how to raise your catfishes and how to market your catfishes. I'll keep on doing it. So my next life, I will still bring that topic. So like I said, next Saturday, God keeping us alive, I will still do that so that we will all gain one or two things. There is a video I will post maybe tomorrow morning or Monday morning, a result that someone here had. It's not the best of result, but it's still good. She has not sold the fish. Oh. The fishes are 4 months. She put it in she used white rubber, this white 1,000 liter rubber, and she's able to she has between 600 to 1 kg. So but she has I think 5 fishes to 4.6 kg or thereabouts as a result. The fishes look very okay, very okay, very, very okay. So I will put it so that some of us who are new can actually know, understand. Because when I told her that you had some issues of feeding, she said yes. One thing about catfish family is that when you see somebody who is ready to tell you the truth, please open up, open up, open up. You see, if I'm ready to help you and you are lying to yourself, like there was a video somebody sent to me. I looked at the video, I know it's a lie, but he kept on saying things. I said, okay, bring the real video. And I've not seen the real video. So you don't need to when somebody wants to help you, assist you, it's not I'm not even charging you anything. The least you can do is try and open up. First of all, that you don't know something is not a crime. My people will say that somebody who asks question doesn't miss the road. It's a proverb. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. So say somebody that asks question, don't miss the road. That is true. But when you have problem and I'm asking you question and you are lying, most times I will give you my judgment based on the lie that you have told me. Now you know what you have done? You have misled yourself. So you will now apply what I told you on the lie that was the foundation. What would the answer be? Negative. So please, you are not bragging anything for me. For one, in terms of catfish, there is no size of catfish I have not seen. In terms of harvest, there is no size of catfish I have not harvested. There is a video I posted one certain time. I was holding a catfish like this. If I see that video, I will post it. It was a 4 kg catfish that I achieved in my pond at 10 months. Yes, I was holding one. It was about 4.6 kg or thereabouts. So I have seen it. So my own is just trying to like guide you so that, but when you are now lying, you are starting. You have issues, I'm trying to help you, and you are lying. You are not doing me any bad, though. Oh, you are not. Because sometimes I will listen to what you say, I know it's a lie, and I will help you by building on your lie. You do it, you will fail. You complain, it's none of my business. So please try as much as possible. When you have issues, you are telling me, give me the truth so that I can help you. I'm always willing, ready to help anyone. But when you lie, you're not helping me. You're not helping yourself. Because, like I said, what I will tell you is based on the lie that you have told me. And the result is going to be a lie. You remember that minus plus minus is minus. So you see? So, meaning that now, even minus plus plus is minus. So now you don't bring the minus, which is the lie. And I gave you the truth on the lie. What the result is going to be is a lie. Let us not have these problems. So thank you very much. This one said, sir, please, in a small tank of 1,000 liters, what will I maintain? Will I maintain three? Yes, now you maintain 3 feet to or 3 feet because it can't be 4 feet. The tank itself is about 4 feet. So it's 3 feet water height. Any tank you are trying to build anytime, please have it in your mind that you are maintaining 3 feet water height. Please don't go below 3 feet. Oh. If you do 2.5 feet and you want to start explaining, yes, no, if you explain to me, I will always tell you no problem. But inside me, I know you are doing the wrong thing. Oh. Sometimes I will tell you, but you see people, they are trying to explain to me. Okay, you're explaining to me. I'll say, okay, no problem. But I know you're not doing the right thing. You are supposed to have 3 feet, but you're having below 3 feet. Probably, maybe because the price was cheaper. I don't know. But you're not doing yourself any good though, because the fishes don't have anywhere to stay, and relax to give you the result you are looking for. They keep on, sometimes they may even flip off the pond. So thank you very much for all. If there's any other question, drop it. I will pick it later on and answer you. So, like I said, thank you. I really appreciate you guys. So let's see next week by God's grace. Same time, same channel. All the best.